So what is the one thing that just seems to happen every single Coachella without fail, other than weird dudes following you around asking where the after party at? Cultural appropriation, which is the topic of our show today. Pop Feminist, which is Teen Vogue's new show dissecting pop culture through an intersectional feminist lens. My guest today here is Jess Andrews, who is Teen Vogue's resident fashion editor and current cultural appropriation slayer. Hey, girl.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, of course. So, obviously, like I said, this is like nothing new.
Absolutely not. You know, it's not a novel idea. Even if you search cultural appropriation in Coachella, you'll find so many pieces written about it over the last few years. And it really is distressing to me because I'm like, after all the conversation, you still see people taking these sacred symbols and wearing them to the festival and really making light of people's culture, and it's just wrong.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of these particular pieces of culture that these people try to, wear to festivals are really sacred symbols to a lot of people. Like, we can talk about war bonnets, which are really, really important spiritual symbols with a lot of political meaning as well for a lot of tribes.
Absolutely.
Or one tribe.
You'll see bros wearing war bonnets at Coachella, and the idea is that for Native American culture and a specific tribe, not every Native American, but those bonnets signify they're earned. Those feathers are earned. They signify something that's really sacred to that culture. So to take that war bonnet on as a prop and to wear it doing all kinds of illegal activity at Coachella, it's disrespectful and it's offensive.
Right. And I mean, that's the same thing with the bindi, which is the symbol of awakening and sort of spirituality.
Yes.
And
the third eye, the chakra, and spiritual development. And when you wear that at Coachella and you're drinking, you're partying, and you just look at it as a forehead accessory, you're really dismissing the meaning behind it. You're dismissing a whole culture of people. It's very dehumanizing to see that. As a South Asian person, I actually got a comment that I really, really loved. And a South Asian jewelry designer said that, it was so frustrating to her to see that symbol of her culture being made a mockery of at Coachella. So that really inspired me to speak up for those groups, as well as my own marginalized group as a Black woman, and to say that this is offensive and disrespectful. So just think twice before wearing it next time.
Totally. But I mean, that said, we also have Kylie Jenner. She's a perennial offender of the cultural appropriation game. She decided to don the boxer braids, right?
Right. And cornrows, I think, again, aren't a hairstyle that you necessarily can't wear. But when you think about the Black women who wear cornrows and are fired from their jobs, or the Black girls who are banned from their classrooms for wearing cornrows, and then that same style is celebrated on somebody like Kylie Jenner, and it's treated as if it's new and edgy, you can see that there's something wrong here. There's a double standard. And that's what I think we need to bring attention to, that hairstyle in and of itself should be fine for any race to embrace. But why is there a stigma when Black women do it?
Absolutely. Again, the reiteration that we want to sort of put out there is there's nothing wrong inherently with wanting to wear and appreciate what you think is beautiful. But it comes down to a matter of respect and making sure that you're honoring whatever the message, the original message and the original context of these pieces are.
Yes.
And making sure that people, honestly, it should be a thing where, like, the people themselves, if they feel offended, don't do it.
Absolutely. And, do your research.
Yes.
Okay, so
you guys do have Google.
There's Google. There's so many different ways of getting information in 2017. So learn about war bonnets. Learn about bindis as more than just an accessory or a prop or a cool look for Instagram. Learn the history behind it. And if that culture does feel it's disrespectful, hear them out and take it seriously.
Totally. Yeah. But, I mean, that said, also, I wanted to talk a little bit about sort of the backlash we've gotten on the Teen Vogue Facebook when it comes to this article. And Twitter. Yes. How could I forget Twitter? Twitter always out there.
Yeah. The backlash has been surprising for me because a lot of the comments have said that I was racist. And I think that I was not coming from a place of hate or racism, but rather trying to speak up for these cultures and just ask for respect, which I think is just a baseline thing that as a human you wouldn't want to offer other cultures. Right. So it's a lot less about, attacking white women per se, but actually bringing this perspective to the conversation and saying that this is worth hearing out. And maybe, think twice before you wear this to Coachella if it's offensive to a whole group of people.
Yeah, if you think it's wrong, if you have an inkling of it being not so great, maybe problematic, then probably don't do it.
Yeah.
Or ask. You have the internet at your disposal. You have every multitude of person out there to answer your question.
I even got an email from someone that was asking about braids, and it was just really honest and saying, oh, if I wear cornrows, is that okay? If I wear braids, is that okay? And those are the kinds of conversations I think that we should be having.
Right.
If we're really embracing each other's culture, then we should be able to speak about things that we find offensive without being attacked for them.
Totally, rather than just being like racist.
Right, being branded a racist.
A racist.
Exactly.
I know, but that said, I think we have to wrap up this conversation now, but thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I love the show.
Bye, guys.